How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
What do you have here?
I have an Alpha Black Lotus illustrated by Christopher Rush.
All right, Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
The trading card game that started it all.
It did start it all.
I know originally the creator of the game wanted to make a board game, but Wizards of the Coast was the company making them.
Right.
Thought it was going to be too expensive, and they figured that if he could come up with an idea to make a card game that could be playable at conventions, that it would be a good idea.
Right.
Lo and behold, 1993 Magic came out. Now
Correct.
we have a slew of games, you know, Magic probably being the most popular, then Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! I might have played Magic once or twice, but not very much. But I definitely know about the Black Lotus. It's very iconic. It was one of those cards that was so low printed and it was so powerful that for several years this was just a staple of the deck until eventually Wizards of the Coast ended up banning the card in
They
competitive
did,
play.
and they're not reprinting them anymore. It's on the no print list, so.
So how did you get this card?
So I started playing Magic when it first came out. Was never lucky enough to get a Black Lotus. It's super rare, but I was able to buy one later, and I've saved it all these years. I've had this one since probably 1996.
I imagine you're asking a lot for it. Are you looking to sell it?
I am looking to sell it, and I think I'm asking a fair price at $85,000.
I'm interested in it, but I have read about these cards being faked, where they take like
Quite a bit.
more modern version printed up from overseas, and
They
then
do
they kind of
international sets and things like that, and they do what's called a reback. This is not a reback. That's why I had it graded.
I still would like to have someone come over and take a look at it. Matt, my guy from CGC, is actually here in the crowd right now.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, so yeah, let me text him, and he'll get over here in a few minutes. All right, I bet he's gonna flip his lid when he reads that text.
You do not see these every day. These are pretty rare.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
I got your text. You got something fun?
I do. This gentleman here brought in the Holy Grail of Magic, Black
Really?
Lotus.
That's a beautiful card right there. I mean, you can't get better than that with Magic the Gathering. For the limited edition alpha set, there was 1,100 made. And actually, they called it limited edition. It was actually the first two sets, but there were differences between these two print runs, and then eventually become separated out into alpha here, and then later on beta.
So what's the #1 difference picking the card up, knowing
Sure.
instantly this is the first print?
Mind if I take a look at the card?
No, help yourself,
Appreciate
please.
it. So, with the Black Lotus, alphas will have a certain registration of this 0 up here, where it's a little bit to the right and it's a little bit down, as opposed to the later printings where it might be up and to the left. And actually, the corners have a much bigger radius as opposed to the next printing.
Okay.
So instantly, that's the #1 thing I look for.
Do you mean people shave the corners?
Sure. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
actually take the corners and make them look like the earlier printing by clipping them.
Okay, so taking a look at that card, what are
Yeah.
you seeing?
I mean, it looks like it's accurately graded, thankfully. You know, I'd hope so. Got a little bit of corner wear, edge wear, but unquestionably authentic. How much was he looking to get for this thing?
Just a small price tag of $85,000.
Okay, okay. I mean, the way I see the market right now, I'd say 70,000 is a more safe number to buy it, to look to resell it.
Rick might kill me, but I'm thinking about it.
Good luck with that one, chum.
Good
All
seeing
right,
you.
thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, well, what do you think about what he said? Do you agree?
I think 85,000 is actually a pretty fair market price for this card.
Okay, and you're pretty firm on that, it sounds like?
I think so. I think
Okay.
it'd be really tough for me to come down on that. I think these are just going to go up.
And you know, I understand it. A card like this, you kind of ask for what you want. Beautiful card, thanks for bringing it in, but at $85,000, I'm gonna have to pass because I really, truly enjoy my job, and I think this would be the final thing to get me fired.
I understand it. It's bittersweet for me to even put it up for sale, so I appreciate you guys' time and everything today.
All right, well, thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
I just landed in London for my much-needed vacation. Now I'm headed out to the city of Chester to check out my buddy's pot shop. Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey, Rick. Long time no see.
You too.
This is little Mark. Hello. Hi, mate. Good to meet you.
How's it going?
Good, good.
So this is it, huh?
Yeah, that's it, mate. This is the little shop. Little quite English shop, you know.
Okay, well, show me around.
Yeah, let's have a look round. I've known Rick for about 5 years. We met at the coin show in Las Vegas. Been friends ever since. I mean, his pawn shop's good, but it's American at the end of the day. He's got 200 years of history. We've got 2,000 years of history. He's got nothing compared to us. Now, I've got something here that will blow your socks off.
Okay,
This is what you've been looking for all your life.
all right.
Ready?
Ready.
Really?
I'm ready. Wow. It's absolutely beautiful. What is it?
Well, you think it's a piece of rusty metal, don't you? Well, it is a piece of rusty metal. Remember that really famous ship that would never sink?
Oh, the Titanic.
That's it. That's part of the Titanic's hull.
So is this where it ran into the iceberg? Or?
No, the opposite side, the good side.
All right. They sent down the little submarine and it broke off a piece, or?
It was the massive operation. They sent down several submarines. They broke off the big piece, which is 20 tons, and brought it up. And then from the big piece, they took these samples off. So got all the paperwork for it. Not many people have touched that. That's amazing, isn't it, really?
That is amazing.
And it's amazing how much it's worth, because you just can't get it.
So is it for sale?
Everything's for sale, mate. You know that. I'll sell anything.
How much you want for it?
This is a gem. I've had an offer on this a few days ago. If you can beat it, you can buy it off me.
How much?
How much do you reckon?
That's a number I have no idea on. I just don't. I mean, I've never tried to research a piece of the Titanic.
That is going to cost you £1.2 million. Yeah. If you can make anything over 1.2 million, that's my offer I've had 2 days ago, 1.2 million pound. If you can beat that, it's yours, mate.
Okay, so what else do you have?
What point? Come on, that's a good piece. Imagine breaking it up into several pieces and put it into frames and sell. You'll make a fortune out of that.
Out of my price range. What do you got in, like, rock and roll stuff? All I know is I'm not dropping 1.2 million pounds on a chunk of metal. Unless it's a really big chunk of gold. The guys gave me a Beatles tour of Liverpool as a gift. And since it's pretty close to Big Mark's shop, he's tagging along.
Right, welcome on board the Magical Mystery Tour. My name's Neil. We're going to take you to the suburbs of Liverpool and show you some of the places made famous by the Beatles, including some of the birthplaces, the schools, the homes, maybe a bar or two if we get the chance, you never know.
The Beatles have influenced my life. They've influenced this country, our culture. I've been singing my head off. Rick's been singing. We've had a great time.
The tour was great. We went on Penny Lane. We went to Strawberry Fields. We went to George Harrison's house, Lennon's. I mean, everybody. It was a ball. This has been one of the best vacations of my life.
Can you enjoy that?
Had a blast. Do I really have to go back to Vegas now?
How can I help you?
How's it going? I'm looking to sell my Booker T wrestling boots.
This is one of the most iconic wrestlers out there. Five-time champion.
Yeah, you know the deal.
I don't know why he said that even though he won the championship 6 times.
I'm looking to sell my Booker T wrestling boots. They've obviously been worn, but the wear and tear just gives it a unique twist because you know that he actually wore them. I've had these boots for about 4 years, and now I'm just looking to sell it. I'm asking $6,000 for the boots. If I can make some cash today from this sale, I'm probably gonna go buy a new motorcycle.
So this is pretty cool you're able to get these boots. I grew up watching wrestling. I don't really watch it so much anymore, but I still consider myself a fan of the old days wrestling when I was young watching it. Booker T started off wrestling with his brother. They had a tag team named the Harlem Heat. Him and his brother won like over 10 championships as the tag team champions. And then in 2001, he came to the WWF, which was later changed to the WWE, and started his solo career. A few years later, in 2007, I believe, Booker T won the King of the Ring, and that's where these boots would have came from, King Booker. Do you have any paperwork with these?
No, I didn't get any paperwork. I actually got these boots at a charity auction.
My boss doesn't always like things from a charity auction without paperwork,
Right.
but, I mean, they look pretty legit. What are you looking to do with them?
Well, I'm looking to get rid of them today.
And how much are you looking to get for them?
You know, I'm looking to get about $6,000 for them today.
Would you take 2,000?
Absolutely not.
Without the paperwork, the top dollar I'm gonna be able to pay is 3,000.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get these authenticated, or I'm just gonna have to sell them with the risk that they're gonna be brought back here, someone saying they're fake.
$3 grand.
3 grand.
You know what? We'll do 3,000.
All right, meet me over here at the desk and we'll write them up.
All right, cool. It wasn't what I was hoping for, but at least I can pay for half my motorcycle now.
Chum,
So, guys,
I'm assuming you have something to do with this.
with what?
I told you to order work shirts. These aren't work shirts.
World famous gold and silver pawn shop, Las Vegas. It's got the logo.
The work shirt is a black polo with a gold logo. I'm not a salmon kind of guy.
I don't know, it matches your head pretty good.
What's up with the Booker T boots?
I bought these boots from a customer for $3,000.
Where did they get them?
They got them from a charity auction.
I've told you a million times, charity auctions, like half the stuff is fake.
Well, that's why I offered him such a low amount, because he didn't have any paperwork on him, so...
How do you know they're Booker T's?
They say Booker T on them.
But I can't say they're his boots because I have no documentation saying they're his boots.
I'll get some documentation for you. I'm working on that right now, actually. I sent a few DMs to his people. They're gonna try and get Booker T to authenticate him for me, but...
He's gonna come out to Vegas?
Not anytime soon. He's in Houston, so the best I can do is just get a picture authenticated for now.
Well, I'm actually going to Houston.
Should I go with you and get these authenticated while you're out there?
That sounds absolutely great. And I'll agree to that right after you order the new shirts.
I gotta see if I can actually meet Booker T.
Good luck with that one.
Thank you, I might need it. You're gonna be really excited once you realize these boots are real and I made a good purchase.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, like, you really should...
What is that? Whoa, there he is. Yeah. Woo!
You must be Chumlee.
And you are Booker T. Thanks for coming down today.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. What you got here?
Well, I got some boots that I think are, you know, from the King Booker era.
King of the world.
King of the world right there,
yeah, most definitely.
I had to buy them, but my boss is a little bit unsure if I bought something that's not authentic.
The person he bought them off bought them at a charity auction, and seems like 3/4 of the stuff at charity auctions ain't real.
They're real, okay? These boots were created around 2006. And I tell you, I had this gold outfit, gold sleeves, gold tights, King Booker on the back, and with the crown, of course. And it was definitely one of my most appealing outfits.
So did you give these to a charity auction?
Yeah. Hurricane Harvey, actually. We raised some pretty good money with the boots.
Okay, so, see, good things do come out of charity auction.
All right, I'll admit it. You did a good job in this purchase. So you have a wrestling school here?
Yeah, I've had my wrestling schools started back in 2005. You know, trying to give young people a springboard to get into the wrestling business. It's all about, you know, living out the dream.
You looking for a new prodigy?
So what are you saying? You wanna try it out?
I'm not trying to fill your shoes, but I'm ready to get in there.
You ready to try a little bit?
I am ready.
You gonna slide in?
Should I do the slide?
We want to actually do this.
All right,
It's all you, chum.
Will you hold my hat, Rick? You know, you can't wrestle in a hat. That's just ridiculous.
All right, I'm standing
I'm
right
taking
here.
the stairs.
Yeah!
Okay. All right, beautiful. Wait a minute, the kids got rhythm. Okay, what we're gonna do is give you a crash course.
Okay.
First thing we learn how to do in wrestling is lock up.
Okay.
All right, I need you to make sure you keep that left arm stiff. Left arm, there you go, that left arm. All right, I need you to put that left arm right on my chest. All right, boom. All right, now we're gonna add both hands, all right?
Okay.
Boom, oh my goodness, we got a natural here. All right, now I'm gonna teach you the wrist lock, all right? We're gonna go from the tie up to the wrist lock. Here we go, tie up, boom, bang, see that? See that wrist lock right there? All right.
That's what you do when you're in trouble. I think I might have a future in wrestling, but I don't think my body will hold up permanently. The chumpster will put you in the dumpster.
Take a bump. Boom. There you go. Perfect. I think we got a star here. Star is born.
What do we got? I have a John Wilkes Booth wanted poster after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater.
This is a really, really important part of American history.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my John Wilkes Booth wanted poster. A pristine poster of this type is worth around $100,000. My poster is not quite pristine, so I'm hoping to get maybe a third of that, and I want to use the money to buy more documents.
So where did you get this?
Well, I bought this from a collector in Illinois. There's only about 30 or 40 of these in existence.
There wasn't a lot of posters put out because by the time they started printing posters, he was already caught.
Yeah, this was printed April 20th, and he was killed on April 26th.
The manhunt for John Wilkes Booth is one of the most intense chapters in American history. And original wanted posters are extremely rare and worth a ton of money. Lincoln, he had like a Union troop with him, right?
He had a private policeman, and he went down to take a better seat in the theater to see the play.
Okay, yeah. Lacked security, and he just walked right up to the booth and shot him, right? Walked right in it.
Yeah, I know John Wilkes Booth was one of the most famous actors in America, and he was even rated like the handsomest man in America or something like that.
Yeah, and the most photographed man at one time.
Everyone knows the story from history class. John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater, then jumped down to the stage and escaped. It was just a massive shock to the country.
Booth was hoping to totally destroy the U.S. government. He also planned to have the Secretary of State and the Vice President assassinated. He thought that he was going to be a hero if he made it to Virginia.
Let the stain of innocent blood be removed from the land by the arrest and punishment of the murderers. They weren't suspected.
Yes, and this was the largest manhunt in American history.
Wouldn't surprise me. Lincoln's arguably the greatest president we've ever had. He was the first president ever to be assassinated. If Lincoln stayed alive, things would have been a lot different. We wouldn't have had Andrew Johnson, one of the worst presidents in American history.
Very true.
So, as far as the poster goes, they're really rare. They're worth a lot of money. This one's in pretty rough shape. An original John Wilkes Booth wanted poster would be extremely valuable in any condition. But when it comes to putting a price on something like this, condition always matters. And how much do you want for it?
Pristine broadsides go for about $100,000. This obviously isn't pristine. If you could give me 1/3 of that, I'd be happy, you know? When I pulled it out, I noticed the check was a perfect match. To be sitting on there so long, it just proves to me that it has the age to be original.
It does look old, but my big problem is I don't know if it's legit. You know, I'm not gonna put out money until I know. This is amazing. Head and shoulders above anything ever to come in my shop. But I have to be cautious. There is a ton of fakes out there. It's not like fakes have been around for 10 years. Fakes have always been around. So how do I know that some guy in the 1800s didn't fake this? I'm gonna go give my buddy a call. This guy knows everything there is to know about things like this. Let me get him down here. We'll get this thing figured out.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thanks, man.
If this is real, this is amazing. It should be in a museum, but it's not. It's in my shop, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get it. Hey, Dana.
Good to see you. Wow. I'm president of Early American History Auctions. I'm an expert in Civil War, autographs, documents, and all the like. Well, that's an important item. I happen to have a very good client who owns an original, and I brought it with me so we could do a comparison side by side.
So you have one that's proven to be real?
It is absolutely genuine.
Okay, let's see it.
Holy cow.
This is the real deal. These are absolutely some of the most iconic documents in American history. Different printers had different styles. This particular type, there's only 4 known to exist. At that time, the $100,000 reward was the highest amount ever issued in the history of America.
So what's this one worth?
About a decade ago, one brought approximately $80,000, and that was not in as good condition. This is one of the best of all the existing examples. John Wilkes Booth was actually a fanatic who thought that he had been given a mission from God to assassinate Abraham Lincoln because the slaves that had been emancipated were now going to be given the vote as well. So, Rick, what are your concerns about this document?
I just want to make sure it's the real deal. I know there was tons of them that were faked.
Well, it looks kind of odd because of the color and the way it's wrinkled and all, but it could be just very aged, so it needs a little bit closer examination. This is very interesting. The paper is a very old, early paper.
Okay.
You know, it's not something that was made the other day. Most of them were right about this size because they wanted it to be very, very visible. This would be kind of difficult to read. Obviously, the print here is substantially larger than the small print here. I have an idea of exactly what we have here. I think we have an early reproduction. It's not a modern piece at all. Could have been for the 50th anniversary of the murder of Abraham Lincoln.
So what do you think it's worth?
It's probably worth under $100.
Okay.
As it turned out, it just happened to be an authentic souvenir reproduction that was made a long time ago.
It's kind of depressing. I was hoping to have a little cash on this.
Well, thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
I'm really bummed that the poster turned out to be a fake. But with failure comes opportunity. And now that I got a real one in my sights, I'm just hoping we can make a deal.
Sorry that didn't work out for you, but we'll see you later.
Well, why don't you hang out for a little bit? So, what do you want for this thing?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I can't begin to tell you how much I want this thing. It would look great on my wall. This is exactly the type of item that gets people talking about the store and heads in the door. It's for sale, right?
Well, I thought we were just comparing it.
Okay, I'm just wondering, you know, how much you want for it?
I believe that my client would allow me to let it go for $180,000.
You think he would take 100 grand for it?
I think it's worth more. I would advise him not to take that.
Okay, maybe 120?
That won't work right here, right now.
So what will work right now?
I'll tell you what, $160,000, write a check, we're done.
Okay, 125. Call up your buddy, see if he'll take it.
I can't do that for you. I know you need to make a profit. This would look incredible in your store. However, 150 is it.
I'll see you next time you're in the store.
That's fine.
Okay.
When Rick offered to buy my client's authentic broadside, I was just blown away. I had no idea he was going to do that, and it was really fantastic that he had the interest, but we just couldn't get there.
You can't blame me for trying, right?
Not at all, not for a moment.
Okay, have a good one.
Take care.
I can't win today. The first one turned out to be fake, and the real one, I can't make a deal on. But it was really awesome to be able to see it in person. Like most people, I've only seen pictures of it in books.
Hey there.
How can I help you?
I got something really cool. I have what I believe to be an Aztec death whistle.
Okay, looks like my boss on a good day.
I'm at the pawn shop today to sell what I believe is an Aztec whistle. I believe this whistle to be rare because I went to a couple of museums and the people there knew nothing about this. I'm hoping to get $500 for my Aztec whistle.
This is really cool. It looks to me like it would have been an Aztec death whistle. And I don't know if that's something that the Aztecs called it or if that's just something that it was named for after years and years of studying it. There's a few speculations of what it could be used for. Some people say it could have been used for healing, and some people say it could have been used for ceremonies. But I think the explanation that makes the most sense to me is it would have been used in war. These things sound horrific. Have you ever blown this one?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact.
So you know it sounds like screeching death. You mind if I touch it a little and look at it?
Yeah, please.
So these would have just been made out of a kiln-fired clay. I mean, you can feel it right away and tell that it feels like clay. It does have some really cool aging on it. You can see the white in here, kind of where it has aged, and it's got a little fading on the paint right here and some small cracks that are typical, you know, in clay firings. I'm guessing it looks like a face. I don't know if this would be like a mask or a face or something like that. The Aztecs, they were known for carving, you know, faces out of all kinds of stuff. What are you looking to do with it?
I'm hoping to sell it for $500.
Okay, I mean, $500 seems like a steal for this, I'll be honest with you, if it's real. It looks good, but at the end of the day, it's a piece of fired clay, so it's not hard to fake. I'd like to have someone come check it out. If this is real, it's probably worth more than $500. So do you have some time for me to get someone down here?
Yeah, sure, that'd be fine.
All right, give me a few minutes to make a phone call, and I'll let you know what's going on after that.
Sounds good. My biggest concern is the expert may say that this is something that was made in the last 50 years at a trinket shop.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Chumley, how are you?
Hey.
I'm Bob.
Bob, Steve, hi.
Good to meet you. What do we have today?
Well, this gentleman says he has an Aztec whistle, and looking at it, it seems to be in the style of a death whistle to me, but this kind of stuff is much more commonly faked, so I do have my concerns.
So out of every authentic Aztec whistle, there's got to be 100 fakes. So from here, it looks fabulous, but mind if I take a look?
Please do.
Don't worry, he's very gentle.
Oh, God, wow. I have been looking for these for 30+ years. I've read about them. I've seen pictures of them. I have never seen one. Death whistles are a very rare commodity in the ancient art. I have known about Aztec death whistles since I started collecting over 30 years ago. I've been looking for one. I've never seen one. I've asked every dealer if they've seen one. The opportunity to actually see and have one in your hand is like finding the Holy Grail. So, death whistle, designed to scare the living bejesus out of you. More than likely, it was used by a warrior. So you take it into battle, you're running, you reach for it, you screech, and if you've got 100 guys beside you, each of you screeching, there is no army in the world from this time period that isn't gonna just turn tail and run. The things that I'm looking for specifically, there are these little black dots on here. And those black dots are the result of manganese, a mineral being leached out of the soil and growing onto the pottery.
So does that mean it would have been buried in the dirt at some point?
So this was definitely buried in the dirt.
And how long would it take for those black dots to start appearing?
They will appear in about 100 years, but for them to get this size and that many, 500-600 years, it's just amazing. Absolutely authentic. The million-dollar question, does it work? The value was really predicated on whether this works.
You want to give it a whistle for us?
Yeah, sure, be glad to.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Hang on to your hat.
Oh, it works, and
Wow.
I imagine that's how it's supposed to sound.
It's real. It's valuable.
And how much would you say it's worth?
Oh, geez. Because there are so few of these on the market, I can easily see this selling for $5,000.
Whoa.
That much?
That much.
Wow. Okay, well, thanks for coming in.
Ooh, you are a lucky guy, chum.
I would have been luckier if I didn't call you in and just bought it, but...
All right.
Thank you very much. Pleasure meeting you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
You don't want the 500 anymore, do you?
The $5,000 sounds a whole lot better now.
What about 1,500?
How about 4,700?
Doesn't look like you're gonna budge too much. 2,500 is gonna be my max.
2,500, huh? I think I'll take it and maybe see if I can sell it someplace else, knowing the better, true value of it.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, as long as the market stays the same, my offer will stand. You can bring it in and get 2,500 anytime. Just ask for Chum.
That sounds incredibly fair.
All right, have a good day. Thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you very much. $2,500 does sound good. I think I'll take this whistle and try and sell it someplace else.
We got a call from a guy who says he has a garage full of vintage toys, and I'm always down for a hunt.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. Are you Mel?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check this place out, and hopefully I can find some treasures. So you got some vintage toys?
Yep, I got them in the garage if you want to go check them out.
Yeah, let's check them out.
All right. So here we go. Here's the stuff.
Wow. You got some cool stuff sitting on this table.
This section over here, I got vintage tin toys, some original Mego dolls, and of course the rest of all this is Star Wars.
Holy Star Wars. That's a lot.
I'm looking to sell my collection of vintage toys. I acquired these toys from my aunt's husband that passed away. I'm willing to negotiate on these toys because they've just been sitting in my garage and just collecting dust. If I make the sale today, I would like to take a nice little road trip with the family.
This is quite the collection. Tin toys are really cool. They have a lot of history behind them. They started out in Germany, you know, pre-World War I. Tin was cheaper, and it was easier to make the toys out of than what they were making them out of at the time would have been like wood. But after World War I, people didn't really want to buy things from Germany anymore, and the United States took over making tin toys at the time. These are Mego action figures.
Yep.
Mego started making these in 1974, and they made them all the way up until about 84. So this series actually was called The World's Greatest Hero, and in this series, they had DC and Marvel characters in it. Right off the bat, I see Superman. It's probably one of the biggest superheroes out there. This one here is Neptunian, and he's really cool because it wasn't actually from Star Trek, but it's made in the likeness of the aliens on Star Trek. You got Shazam right here, and he's really cool, but he wasn't always Shazam. He actually started as Captain Marvel in the 1940s all the way through the 1950s. At the time, Captain Marvel's comics would outsell Superman's comics. They look in really good condition, especially for being outside of the box. All right, let me focus here. Before I dive into this massive Star Wars collection, what are you looking to get for the tin toys?
Tin toys, I was looking maybe around 1,000.
Would you take 300 for them?
I wouldn't go that low for that.
What's the lowest you'd go on the tin toys?
Maybe 7.
All right, I think I'm gonna pass on the tin toys for now.
Okay.
But I really, really like these action figures here. What are you looking to get for the set of all 3 of them?
I was looking maybe 100 a piece.
I'm thinking maybe that's probably right about what I'd get for them if I sold them. Would you take 200 for all 3 of them?
Maybe 250.
I can go 250 on these.
Okay.
All right. Holy Star Wars. That is the mother load of the collection.
Yep.
We got all kinds of stuff going on in here. R2-D2 right here, one of the most loved characters of Star Wars. We also got Luke Skywalker here, that's pretty cool, and then Han Solo. We got Yoda right here. Everybody loves Yoda. And this is my favorite, Boba Fett. He was the bounty hunter, and he was one of the coolest characters. Star Wars toys, they're huge. They're one of the most collectible toys out there. George Lucas made a genius deal when he made Star Wars. He forego taking his salary and got some rights to the licensing. So he actually made billions of dollars just off the Star Wars toys. I mean, I see you have some of the iconic figures here.
Mm-hmm.
These toys all look pretty vintage. I am noticing a lot of the guns and accessories are missing here, though. That's big, but people do buy this stuff to upgrade the version that they already have. You know, that's what happens a lot with this stuff. So what are you thinking for the Star Wars toys?
I was looking around 2,500.
I think that might be a little high, just because you don't have any accessories.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take $1,000 for them?
How about 16?
I would love to buy them for $1,200.
No, how about 1,400?
All right, I think I could work with $1,400. So, $1,400 for the Star Wars collection, $250 for the Mego toys.
Yep.
All right, we got a deal. Let's go find a box and put them all in, and I'll get you paid.
Cool, thank you.
All right, sounds good.
I'm happy with what I made, because if not, these toys would just be sitting here collecting dust.
What do you think of my new haul?
What I'm seeing here, Chum, is what's pretty common in most Star Wars collections is that there's millions of these figures made and hardly any accessories available.
What about this? It's Rick.
That's the Rancor Keeper, and he's pretty incomplete, although it's very Rick-esque for sure.
Oh, speaking of Rick-esque, Star Wars made a figurine of you. You might have to sue.
That looks nothing like me. So what is all this stuff?
These are some toys I bought for $1,650. And so far, so good. Don't laugh.
How much is all this stuff worth?
So overall, I think you guys would expect to get a little over $1,700 for everything here.
That's good news.
You paid $1,650.
At least we didn't lose money.
I'll see you later, man.
All right, man. See you guys.
Another good buy. Not a great buy, but I had to take a risk on this one, Rick. I mean, one little variation in here could have brought you up to a few $1,000.
I'm not gonna get mad. You took a chance, part of our business.
Rick, it's not all a loss. We do have the Rick doll. You can keep it in your office.
Just put everything away.
Earlier, I bought a really old handwritten book. It looked like it was worth picking up, but I don't know who wrote it, what it's about, or even what language it's in. So I'm stopping by my friend's shop to get some more info on it. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Rick, nice to see you.
I have a book that I know nothing about.
Ah, so you came to me. The guys usually call me from the pawn shop because they've got a book. They need an expert to give them a real value. Whoa. What have we got here?
Well, it's a handwritten book. I don't know how old. I'm thinking like 1600s?
You know, normally that'd be a good guess, given that it's manuscript rather than printed, but we've got some odd things going on here. You see there are actually spaces in between these words. That is something that you only see in printed books. Manuscripts, you would just have the words all kind of scrunched together. So what this is doing is it's copying a printed book.
Okay.
This book is really special because so many hours went into creating it, and even after the printing press was created, so that's pretty unusual.
So you know what something like this is worth, or?
The value is really hinging on the content. Unfortunately, I'm not even sure, quite frankly, what language it's in. It could be Old Russian, it could be Church Slavonic, I'm not sure. So I'm actually gonna have to talk to a friend of mine and have him tell me what it's about.
Okay. So later today, next week, next month?
Soon.
Thanks.
Yeah. Rick really surprised me today. He brought this book that I wouldn't have expected. So in order to figure out what this book is, I'm gonna have to take some pictures of it and send it to a friend of mine back east. Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's up?
I have answers for you.
Well, come on around.
All right. I'm stopping by today because I think we've solved all the mysteries here, and I think that Rick, he's gonna be pleased.
So what exactly is it?
We have here a book written in Russian Church Slavonic.
Russian Church Slavonic?
Yes, like Slav, Slavonic.
Okay. So when was it written?
There are papers in here that have watermarks that show where the paper came from. That paper was circulated in Russia only during the first third of the 19th century.
Okay, so early 1800s.
Yeah.
Not nearly as old as I thought it was.
With a manuscript book, you don't expect it to be so late. But that's the fascinating thing about this book is it's manuscript in the world of printed books. The other thing is that it's the excerpts from the writings of St. John Chrysostom.
Okay.
St. John Chrysostom is actually kind of a big deal in the Eastern Christian churches, like Byzantine Church. He was Patriarch of Constantinople. And in fact, his divine liturgy is the main one used in Byzantine liturgy today, and it's one of the oldest liturgies still in use.
Okay.
I wonder about the monk who was tasked to do this. You think about it, they're like, okay, now spend 4 months just sitting there writing this script and losing your sight.
All right, so the big question, what's it worth?
Overall, you're looking at a value of about $1,500.
Well, it works out for me because I only paid $250 for it.
Yeah, you did well. I think Rick's really happy about the $1,500 value because he purchased it for so much less. He got a good deal in this case.
Now all I have to do is figure out who's going to buy a book in Russian Church...
Slavonic.
Slavonic. I'm going to have to write that down.
I'll send you a memo.
You're the best.
Thanks.
I'm glad I went with my gut and bought this thing. It might take a little while to find a buyer, but when I do, it's going to be a payday.
Sweet truck, man. How much you want for it?
Nah, it's not for sale. I'm selling what is in the back.
Oh. Looks like a bunch of junk in the trunk.
I came today to a pawn shop to sell my 2000 Porsche Carrera 911 engine. I know about the engines because I work in a junkyard. That's my job, to sell parts. I like to sell it about $4,500. I think the less I can get is around $3,600.
What do you got here?
It's a 2000 Porsche Carrera 911 engine.
Porsche motors are really cool. This motor right here, it's a 6-cylinder, water-cooled, pancake motor. They're much better balanced. You can put a much lower profile on the motor. Porsche engineers really built fast cars. Back in the 1930s, Porsche was started by a guy named Ferdinand Porsche. His first big success, the Volkswagen Beetle. He actually built it under orders from Adolf Hitler. Where did you get it?
I get it from my junkyard. I bought the engine because I want to build a Baja.
I off-road a lot too, and the 6-cylinder Porsche motors are great for Baja. Do you mind if I take a closer look at it?
Take a look, man.
Okay. Was it right by the ocean?
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's got a lot of water damage.
But not inside, just outside. I asked the guy in the junkyard to run it out so I can hear the engine, so it was a smooth engine.
Do you know how long it sat?
A couple years.
Okay. When you're buying an engine, there's nothing scarier than the words junkyard. There's 101 things that could have happened to this motor, and I have no idea what it was. There's just a lot of variables. How much you want for it?
$4,500.
It's a cool motor, but I got some concerns. It looks like water damage. I just want someone to look at it, all right?
All right.
All right, let me go give him a call. I'll be right back.
All right, man. I'm positive that this mechanic is coming. It's gonna say it's gonna be a good engine.
So what do we got, man?
It's a Porsche engine.
The guys call me down on a regular basis to come check out something if it's automotive related or motorcycle related for the most part. Well, you know I'm a Porsche fan. Porsche's definitely got their act together. I mean, they're great performance motors. They're lightweight. They got a great low center of gravity, you know, because everything's set down on the bottom like that. An engine like this, it's a valuable engine. If you went to buy this brand new from the factory, brand new, you're probably gonna spend anywhere between 15 and 20 grand to get it. Lots of times people will buy a Porsche motor, and sometimes guys like to try and retrofit them into like a dune buggy or a sand rail type of situation. So, you know, there's quite a few uses for a Porsche motor. So, Rick, tell me, what's your concerns about this?
It looks like it's got some water damage, and it looks like it's been sitting for a long time.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of compartments that should have been closed up, and they're all open. When things are left open, like this throttle body is left exposed and these fuel rails are left exposed, there's ways to get inside this engine. So what's going on the surface is going to be going on to an extent inside, and that's the unknown. We really don't know what's going on inside there.
All right, so what do you think?
It makes me nervous. The only way to make sure it's right is I got to open it up.
You're wrong. It's good engine. It's not gonna make you no problems. If you bring a good mechanic, he will tell you what to do.
Well, brother, they did bring a good mechanic, and I do know what we got to do with this motor, and I'm speaking the truth about it. So that's just how it is.
I don't think all decoration can go inside the engine because there is no pressure, so they won't go inside the injectors. And I think you have to bring a good mechanic, I mean, a professional one that they can know what to do.
Danny's my man. I mean, this guy can fix anything.
Absolutely. He did bring a good one.
Not anything.
He doesn't know me. He doesn't know my background, so I'll let that one slide. But the rule of thumb here is you got to know what you're buying. And frankly, we just don't know what's there.
Thanks, Danny.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, love you, brother.
Catch you later.
I'm just glad Danny's a cool customer, because it could have got ugly. All right. You know, thanks a lot, man. I'm gonna pass. I mean, it scares me too much.
You don't even want to make an offer?
I don't want to make an offer, and I just don't think the risk reward is here. So, thanks for bringing it down.
All right.
I appreciate it. Good luck with it.
Thanks. I know about engines, I know about parts. It was bad for me, but I think I can sell it.
Hey, what can I help you with?
Well, got this uniform jacket in with some costumes. We do some high school productions, and we get donations in periodically. And with that came this Civil War jacket.
I mean, if it's real, it'll be really cool. I mean, it's from Civil War.
Coming down to the pawn shop today to have them look at a Civil War jacket that I have. The reason I want to sell it today is that I'm hoping to get some money that we can put back into the wardrobe shop. If I could get at least $500 out of it, if it is authentic, I think that would be a great find for us.
Well, it's definitely cool. Should you know anything about it?
Actually, I don't. It was just in a bag of clothes that we got in, so I have no idea where it came from or any of the history on it.
You know, quite frankly, it doesn't shock me that someone would just throw this in a bag and donate it. You wouldn't believe the amount of stuff I buy off people that they just find in attics.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, the Civil War was mud, it was sweat, it was horses. It's not nearly as romantic as they make it out in the movies. You know, just rough, terrible existence as far as I'm concerned. Life was horrible for a soldier during the Civil War, and their uniforms didn't make things much better. Just imagine what it would be like wearing this heavy wool jacket in the summer in the South. Hundreds actually died of sunstroke. It looks really old. This looks like a Civil War cavalry jacket.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, my big concern about it is it just looks too good to be true. There's not one moth hole in it, and I mean, there's really no scuffs. If this uniform is real, it could be worth some serious money. But this thing is in amazing shape for its age. I know there's a lot of people who make these for reenactments, so I have to be careful. What do you want to do with it?
Well, if we can get money for it, I mean, that's money to put toward the school for other things.
Okay. I really like it. Civil War stuff is cool, and
Okay.
it sells.
Sure.
I'm going to call my buddy, and if there's any guy in the world who will know about this, it'll be Mark.
Well, great.
If it's all real, we'll figure something out.
That'd be great. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm excited that they're bringing in an expert today because if he can tell us that it's the real deal, then it's a win-win for everyone.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
I'm the administrator of the Clark County Museum System.
Well, this is it. This is what I called you about.
Okay. So, can you tell me how you came up with this?
Actually, it was donated with some costumes for a theater production. So we know absolutely nothing about it.
Oh, I hate to tell you how many times I've seen things that have gone into costume collections that really shouldn't have. Rick, what are your concerns on it?
I mean, it just looks too good to be true. And generally, when I see that, that's generally the case.
Yeah, and you're right to think that way. Anytime you have a Civil War uniform, anything like that, and it's in perfect shape, yes, you do want to question it. There are a lot of reproductions, there are a lot of costumes that have been made. In order to tell whether this is real, what I'm looking for is, what kind of materials they are, how they're put together. These are inspector's marks. That means that it was inspected as it came into the military. That's what should have happened. Now that's a little interesting. You normally have loops here that the belt would have gone through. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not original to the time period. The reality was in the Civil War, we were outfitting a huge army from almost nothing. So we were buying from anybody who could sew these things up. And Civil War uniforms are somewhat notorious for having variances from what the ordinance said. When you wore this, you wore it with metal shoulder boards. And this doesn't show any sign of ever having shoulder boards on it. Even for the fact it doesn't have the loops, doesn't appear to have ever had shoulder boards, I think it's real. I think what you have is a Civil War Model 1854 uniform jacket. My guess is this was worn by somebody behind the lines because it is in wonderful shape, or that it came out of surplus. Thank you for bringing it in. Appreciate it. I think this is a spectacular Civil War uniform. You don't see these anymore. So, yes, I rather hope Rick can get this one.
Okay, so what are you looking to get out of it?
We talking $1,000 or we?
I really believe at an auction I can get $1,500, $2,000 out of this thing.
Wow, that's impressive.
But there's a lot of fees with an auction.
Well, sure.
And I have to make a little bit for my time, effort, and risk. $750?
Go $850?
I'll tell you what. I'll go $850.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's go do some paperwork.
All right. I'm really excited to learn that this is real because it's great for the school, but it's going to change my whole look at things when things come in. I ended up settling today for $850, so it was a great day.
What do we got here?
Well, we have a set of fossils, Pescara, Tyrannosaurus tooth, and North Africa crocodile skull.
All right, cool. So where'd you get these?
I got them at a estate sale down the street from my house.
Okay. I mean, this is kind of really impressive. The crocodile is the most amazing animal ever. They've been around for like 400 million years, and they really didn't have to evolve that much because why evolve when you're already the perfect killing machine? It's hard to find fossils that nice. Same thing with the fish, because this one you can actually see like some scales and things like that on them. Now, this T-Rex tooth is cool because it's a T-Rex tooth. Maybe there's DNA in there. You could open up in a music park. Oops. Breed some more of them. How much are you looking to get out of these?
The skull, I want $8,000, and the tooth, I'm trying to get $3,000, and the fish, I'd like to get $1,000 for it.
Okay. Have you had it checked out by anybody?
No, that's why I bought it here, so I can learn a little bit more about it.
You really got to be an expert to tell them these things because fossils have become so popular. All this stuff is faked a lot, and I have no idea how to tell. But I do have a buddy. Let me go find Andre. He's my buddy. He's the paleontologist. He knows all about this stuff, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
So here we go, Andre. Here's the fossils I was telling you about.
Wow, okay. This is a fantastic collection. Do you mind if I pick any of this stuff up?
Sure, go ahead.
Of course, I'm gonna go for the Tyrannosaur tooth first.
Okay.
I hate to tell you, but this is a replica. It's a good replica, but this is not real. The weight's not right. It feels like an artificial substance. This is definitely not genuine.
Okay, so that one's out.
We've got one fake, but I recognize this fossil. And I can tell by looking at it on the table that this is a genuine fossil. It's a Priscacara that lived in a freshwater lake system in the western United States during the Eocene period. Through a series of volcanic events, these fish were really well preserved in the volcanic ash that suffocated everything in the lakes, and that's why they're so well preserved.
Okay, and this guy right here.
This is another fossil I'm really familiar with and really faked quite often. Do you mind if I pick this up?
Sure, go ahead.
I can tell by the shape of the snout and the basic anatomy of the skull that it's a Dairosaur, which is an Eocene crocodile.
So how old would this be?
Roughly 60 to 50 million years ago, right after the dinosaurs went extinct. These guys managed to find a foothold and survive. These guys would float up to the top of the water and just wait for fish to swim by their open jaws, and they'd snap them shut.
Okay.
Yeah, the teeth look good. This thing is phenomenal.
Okay. What's the fish worth?
The fish is worth about 500 bucks.
Okay, and the Diosaurus.
Dairosaurus.
All right, I was close enough. Okay.
Yeah.
The Dairosaurus.
Got it. This is a really nice specimen. Honestly, it's the best one I've ever seen. $16,000.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to pass on the fish just due to the fact that I have a lot of fossils at the shop, and it's not super unique to me. But this right here, you're asking $8,000 for it, and quite frankly, it's worth more than that. I mean, I'll give you $9,000 just for the skull.
Well, the appraiser said it's worth $16,000. Can you do 11?
If I didn't call the guy in, you'd still be wanting 8.
Good thing we called him.
No, 9's the best I can do. It really, really is.
Can you do 9.5?
I get a lot of people in my shop. I get thousands of people a day at my shop. But like, rarely do I get someone walking in saying, "Hey, you got any petrified crocodile heads?" So $9,000, we got a deal?
Yeah, we got a deal.
All right, sweet. Just go right over there. My guy will get you paid.